If you try to hurt my friends, I'll make you pay! You won't survive this time! I promise you. Nice work. I don't care how strong you think you are. I am going to win! Both my power and speed, they're well beyond my normal limits. I'm going to defeat you. I'm not playing around! I'm not done! I'm not playing around! The fight has only just barely ended. But I can already feel the itch to fight it. You won't survive this time! Forget it. Forget it. You fool! survive this time. Nice work. Too slow. Too slow. Forget it. Too slow.
Hey, Sean. What you thinking about?
She was on the hood, and she was on the hood, and she's trying to get her last name. And when she wanted for the fact that she said last name for me, when she started these people were trying to she wanted to keep that name so fast. And her last
Too slow. Nice work. You won't survive this time. Forget it. You won't survive this time.
and seeing deeply and she did
Now this is what a real battle is. Too slow. Too slow. Too slow. Too slow.
Hey, you doing your studies?
Too slow.
That's your adopt health, right?
She said she asked if we could take methods because we take the methods, so I just want
Is that so?
yeah. But she said she knew that she needs to know if she's gonna get our ready.
Pretty good. Too slow.
I want you to want to learn, okay?
Too slow.
Like, you got to keep on learning. You know, get your education.
Forget it.
You know,
Too slow.
I gave the system my whole adolescence. I want y'all to do better. That's why I'm trying to, chase it now. Hopefully I can find, passive residual income in this way, because I know people that's like 5-time felons and still find a way to get paid to stay asleep, you know, with generational welfare,
Too slow.
how you say, um, financial independence or marketing, no. So I follow after them. They got their own businesses and stuff like that, right? And not just follow after them,
Too slow.
get cash flow from, the system.
Too slow.
Uh,
Too slow.
because what I'm doing on my own time is just having fun, really be travel. That's the biggest dream is to just travel with y'all. You know, relaxing, comfortable. So listen to God when He tell you He didn't come to. He didn't come to condemn the world, but through Him the world might be saved. And we are to go. It's a Matthew 25. Not just Matthew 25, but the St. John 4. You shall not worship Him in the mountain, but in spirit and in truth. I said Matthew's what?
You won't be able to outrun me. You won't survive this time. You won't survive this time. Too slow. Too slow. Not yet. You won't be able to outrun me. Too slow.
And going into the mountain and seeketh that which has gone astray. He shall rejoice more than that sheep than the 99 that went not astray. So it's about him finding. And Matthew 25. I think that's what I said.
Continue to get stronger and stronger. Don't you
You know?
think?
But when the Son of Man shall sit on his throne, he shall gather all nations and shall separate them one from another, like a shepherd that divides the sheep from the goats. And he shall put the sheep on his right hand, and he shall put the goats on his left. And he shall say unto them on his right hand, Come be blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom that was prepared for you before the foundations of the world. When I was hungry, you gave me meat. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was a stranger, you took me in. Naked, you clothed me. Sick and in prison, you came unto me. And then shall the righteous say unto him, When saw we that hunger and gave thee meat, or thirsty and gave thee drink? And when saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee, or sick and in prison and come unto thee? Then shall he say unto them, For inasmuch as you had done it, and to the least of one of these, you had done it unto me. Then shall he say unto them on his left, Depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For when I was hungry, you gave me no meat. When I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. When I was a stranger, you took me not in. Naked, you clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, you visit me not. Then shall the saints say unto him, when saw we thee at hunger, or thirsty, naked, sick, and in prison, and not come minister unto thee, or minister, unto thee? And then shall he say unto them, for inasmuch as ye had done it not unto the least of one of these, ye had done it not unto me. But these shall go away into everlasting punishment. Eternal. So First Timothy 6 says, cause those who are rich in this world that they be not high-minded, nor trust in the uncertain riches, with the true and living God, and receive things he told to be rich in, but works, willing to distribute, willing to communicate, or, teach people about morals, about good stories, how to stay on the good path, and maybe you came down the path that you wasn't, too good on, but then you could lead them. And so, again, it's giving the good morals and good advice for your family. So, be rich in good works. Good man that finds a wife finds work. Be rich in good works. There's no doubt, if you go from verse 1, it will confirm you stay in the chapter. And bound servants, under the yoke, count their master worthy of all that they were. And Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him her what? You are her daughters if you do what's right without fear, which your husband might, say. Because you're just, submitting your will, which is fitting to God. So, might as well just change the commentary. But again, marriage is the basic unit of it all. And the volume of the book is written about the household, or we call Jesus Christ, for all intents and purposes. And again, if you go to Romans 1, verse 2, the book is about the kings and the, and then Ephesians 5, confirming we're talking about, Christ and his church, the married. Marriage is perfect, is a beautiful design of the Almighty, or for this cause shall a man, leave father, mother, and join unto his wife. And this will be connecting all the way back to Genesis 2, and also just explaining it all, basically, You know, so, 1 Timothy 3
More training?
is
All
the
right, let's
pillar
see
and
what you
ground
can
of the
do.
truth, so I know.
This is nothing to me.
These are hominoids. But, check out Roswell.
I can really do.
These things look like Piccolo. And paraphenomenons. And allegedly saying, because, and under Title 17 USC, Section 107, for the channel. Disclaimer under Title 17 USC, Section 107, when the served allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news report, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright status that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. I just need to say that disclaimer before we say anything else alleged. Because
Hey, thanks a lot. How about we fight again when you're feeling
some of
up
the
to
stuff, I don't want to get a red flag on YouTube for offending anyone. But rather, the Bible is not alleged.
More training?
So if you do not believe in this, the parable phenomena, which the Bible speaks of, and not just parable phenomena, celestials and terrestrials and stuff like that. I no offense. The Bible again is not alleged. The infallible written words of God. But again, if it's not in the Bible, then it's nothing new under the sun. So to explain it, Hebrews, 1, with Hebrews 1, and connecting that with Nebuchadnezzar when he was dreaming, and not to mention just now he's speaking to us in language of some, but he's, believe it or not, Christ gave Moses the law.
Looks like I won this
Okay.
time, Goku.
And that's, you could study that because, again, the word of God and the prophets is the testimony. It's only confirming what it already said.
Over time.
So, the testimony is prophecies of things to come. So it's good to stay well verse grounded in, because again, in Daniel 1, God imparts it to these four young men, all aspects around literature and science. He said all aspects. and they've talked to a lot of stuff there. So, and yeah, careful phenomena. Go to Colossians 1, verse 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. It should reveal something there for you, right? That, but no doubt Hebrews 11, faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. Wise elders will obtain a good report. So, just have faith.
Looks like I won this time, Goku.
Again, the invisible things were made visible by the Son of God. And if you study, then they was the Deuteronomy 32 verse 7, and
Transformation after
to make it like clear.
You Saiyans have taken my tradition and just bastardized it.
St. John 19, and even Rome
no
about
room to lecture me. Not about transforming.
the Son of God, because again he asked him. They told him he was this. He said he was the Son of God, and he took him back into questioning him. And that would just give to context clues, who and I just mentioned Deuteronomy 10. And which will confirm with the scriptures what other deities are. You can go to Deuteronomy 17. In Deuteronomy 17, especially those who are of converts to the faith of Moses and the grace, truth,
Don't you dare go easy on me.
You would know that the moon and the stars. It would tell you right there. You check it out.
This is my reward for enduring that unending
Deities, but again, the deity to Israel is Christ, and Christ is the angel of Yahweh. If that makes sense. And again, 2 Timothy 2. I want to say that verse. Verse in there. Don't quote me on it, but sovereignty to the hearer. We that study don't strive over words. That study to show yourself free. Proverbs 15. The righteous study to answer. So it's, again, it's good to just to keep the humor on there. It's therapeutic. It's good, to have a good laugh. Just because when you're angry, the worst can happen. So try to And then
How dare you mistake?
forgive, directly or indirectly everybody that has, broke your self-esteem. And try not to use destructive, bad choice of words to destroy relationships and
That unending nightmare.
cold depravity or harmful actions, to hurt people. Just keep the morals.
Transformation
Basically,
after
and
transformation.
not to mention,
You
if you go
Saiyans have
to
taken my tradition and just
Deuteronomy
bastardized it.
13, and it's clear, after you see, after you see Galatians, I believe, chapter 4, because, it's just clearly showing that, when you say humanity, and not just Galatians 4, but,
Your attacks have
and, dealing with rescuing humanity, but First Timothy 3.
How dare you? Don't you dare go easy on me. I warned you. Don't
You
go
can see the
near me,
clear
no matter
fate,
how much you try.
quick if you want to get it from a kid's point of view as he's continuing to talk to us as children. You go
This
to
is my reward for enduring that
Proverbs 8,
unending nightmare.
and it will tell you about what he needs you to do. And then it will explain about, the sun being created before anything was there, going further back, to this Hebrews 11 and first, rather Colossians 1, verse 18,
Two of me?
17, 18,
Well, which one's stronger?
16, 17, and 18, rather. But no doubt, Hebrews 1, the sons of times when God was not a manner, he spake to our fathers through the prophets. So how did he speak to them? He would, when it argued, if you had the scrolls open and turned to Daniel 2, and Nebuchadnezzar had the armor strength, he stepped on church stirred people in sleep. He called for his magicians, enchanters, wizards, and wise men to tell him the strength and they all stood before the seventh. And he said to them, memory says, I've had a dream, and my heart is troubled, and I want to know what it means. And the wise man said, his wife, rather, said, King, may you live forever. Great King, may you live forever. Memory said, tell us your dream you dreamed. We were glad we reveal his meaning to you. So he said, my decision is fine. If you don't tell me my dream, what it means, I will have you torn limb from limb, and your house is turned to garbage.
I can already feel the itch to fight again.
But if you can tell me my dream and interpret the meaning, I will reward you with gifts, right? So, and you will have high honor in my kingdom, right? And so they say again, And he was angry, and if you study it, and it was sent out for basically all the wise men to be destroyed, and that included, or, so his astrologers, right?
If you try
They was like,
friends,
and it would tell
make
you
you pay.
in the Choose Passion translation, Daniel 2, it would tell you his, you know, um, you know, wizards and
This battle shall
astrologers,
be a grand
you
event.
know, and no one has been asked to ever do such a thing, but he's asking, and it said, and the gods don't live, and these gods again, I would share
Our enemies will only grow stronger over
Deuteronomy,
time.
First
We
Corinthians
have to
10,
as well.
right? Anyway, so, you know,
We will both continue to get
um,
stronger and stronger.
well, to make a long story short, yet shorter, but explaining, Nebuchadnezzar was being troubled in a dream, again, and prophecies are visions or revelations are, prophecies, and which are visions, and visions can be interpreted to be dreams, or you may have deja vu, and, paralysis, brain conditions, you know, you know, deja vu. But again, like I said, rather Nebuchadnezzar was being troubled in the sniper, right? So he wanted to know the meaning of it, right? So anyway, calling for astrology, right? Because the stars basically confirming and back to Deuteronomy
Light grenade!
17,
Over here!
but again,
Looks like I won this time, Goku.
going to Deuteronomy 17, and again, but anyway, so the wizards and enchanters, right? But when they call for who? Follow us. Christ said, follow me. In Matthew's 11, I believe, and learn what I want to teach you. For I'm, meek and lowly. You should find rest in your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. It's light. So, what we trying to say is, you know, for the people, for the channel, and, perfect, scenery, right? Because then we're talking about giants, right? So, because this is like a giant statue, right? So, and to read the Bible from Genesis 6 to the Jude, and before the prophecy that was given to Messiah. Remember, it says, "This is the revelations of Yahushua Mashiach, which Elohim gave unto him to show unto his servants. For this is the revelations of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. He sent and sanctified. He, God, sent and sanctified it unto his, servant. Sent and sanctified it. It says, rather, it's angels, rather, just say, this is the revelations of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent it and sanctified it unto his angel and to his servant, right? To his angel servant John. Then back it up the word of God, right? And all that he saw, right? He blessed us again. He who readeth, and they who hear the words of this prophecy, and keep the things which are written there, right? Then every time we got him. You know, and
The fight has only just barely ended.
like a twinkle in of an eye, right? No man know the day, the time of the hour. You know, so you want to be ready. And, you know, have that, you know, special one. Your wife, and no doubt, because again, going back to Ephesians 5, Romans 1, Romans 1 verse 2, the volume of the book is rolling about Christ. You know, Ephesians 5, we speak concerning Christ and his church. Okay, so he shall have mercy and not sacrifice. So, that's why he's making, giving so much time, for people, for humanity, because again, it said Isaiah 66, I know their works and their thoughts shall come to pass. I shall bring all tongues to my holy mountain. And no doubt it says in Revelations 7, verse 9. Right? There's seeing a vast multitude, which no one can count, of all tongues, nations, and people. And that is that, remember, seek those things above, the baptism, 1 Peter 3, the consciousness of the baptism. 1 Peter 3, verse, I believe, 1, verse 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and then go to the end, and other, and you should see clearly. That is not of us, because, as Christ said in Matthew 24, and then it shall be like the days of Noah.
So do you think my training is paying off, or what?
And here goes Peter explaining how 8 souls were saved, but now we see a multitude which no one can what? Count, right? So again, those treasures, heavenly treasures, okay? Again, it's explained, you read Proverbs, and, you study Proverbs rather, to make it short and plain for you. All you have to do is just, check out Proverbs 14. From there, you study, you see the crown of the wise is their riches. Not to mention, the words, like the word of Christ dwelling you richly with all wisdom, and that seek those things above, Colossians. Colossians, 3, verse 16.
So
You
do you
go
think
back
my
to
training is
Proverbs.
paying off or what?
Amen. And then, you go back to Proverbs, 13, and verse 7. Is he who make himself rich yet have nothing? Is he who make himself poor yet have great riches? So, to study it further, get the clear understanding of what it's saying. You go to Proverbs 19, verse 14, confirming the crown of the wise is their riches. Yet, mothers and fathers, with the NLT, if you check it out in the NLT, it will tell you fathers can give inheritance of house and wealth, but only God to give an understanding of it. Right? So, no doubt letting these words dwell in you richly. Proverbs 25, verse 17, fitly words spoken, like apples of gold and pitchers of silver. So is it in the gold, fine gold, and wise reprover unto obedient ears. You know. Okay, again,
So do you think my training is paying off or what?
understanding, right? And there you go with Proverbs 12, right? And the virtuous woman is a what? Crown to her husband's foot. But you could have seen it all with 1 Timothy 3, seeing the pillar and ground of the truth. How you ought to live, what's right in God's eyes, what's good in God's eyes, right? Well, it's
Looks like
again
there's
this
another Saiyan
base
like me.
and unit of the, we speak concerning Christ and His church. The base and unit of it all. Marriage, but just again, just making it plain. Making it plain. Again, all you gotta do is, again, going back to those things above, and say that right hand of God. And first, Luke 16. Luke 16. Understand the content. We'll understand that it's talking about being the true riches of heaven. All right. Remember Matthew 6. Matthew 6.
Feel the itch to fight again.
Lay not up for yourself treasures upon the earth, where mote and rust doth corrupt, with thieves break through and steal. But rather lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, and that's a what? Your wife. And her, in undescribable love for you, right? And the husband's, loyalty to the allegiance to Christ, right? So if you've been like listening basically to, the precepts, right? So, and no doubt, morals again, because it's all about, morals. If you go to the poor shall inherit the earth, right? And Isaiah 14, right? At the end, they'll tell you the poor shall inherit the earth. and you could be poor in spirit, right? You could be financially independent, but again, what we're talking about is again this consciousness. This consciousness is baptism. It's not just about going inside of water. It's about following, just like circumcision. It's not about the surgical cut. It's about following it. Although, again, much everywhere chiefly, much everywhere chiefly someone's culture or heritage, you would hope they would keep. But if understanding the rules of it, basically the way of it is
Looks like there's another
morals
Saiyan like me.
and marriage. Morals and marriage from basically beginning to end. Um, and love being the mark of true maturity. And that love is forgiving those in your family of faith. You see that in Colossians. Because again, if Ephesians 5 tells us, be not partakers with them, for you was once time in darkness, but now you are light. So if you are not bringing, like, how you say, positivity basically to the a light to the room, basically, like, because you're a child of light, so give enlightenment, basically, or how you say, constructive criticism, where it's basically, just advice, someone you could listen to, you don't have to. And even if your ways please, God, even your enemies will be at peace. So it's again, know how to be around a massive crowd, and as Christ again, he stood around Publix and, sinners, and even it was his family who basically betrayed him. It wasn't an angry mob, it was his family and basically the courthouse or their government. Right? And again, the Son of God, right? The Son of God that says, with this understanding, basically back to Hebrews 1, right? Of this celestial and terrestrial, because of course we know what pregnancy is now, and how it works, right? But at first, some scriptures confirm it to be a powerful phenomenon. Basically, like she didn't know how you came into her womb. Basically, the Bible reads, and she said, now was it her who gave breath of life, but doubtless the Creator who formed the generations of man by His own mercy and grace, and breath and life, as He now God, not for thine sake, but His also. All right, so, and again, First Timothy 2 says, and she shall be saved through childbearing, assuming they, right? They, right? The marriage continues in faith, right? With holiness and charity and sobriety, It's clear. You know, and again, like you know how it says in Hebrews 1,
This power in my own way.
and Jeremiah was told to what? Write in books, right? Write in books and Isaiah, right? So come back to Nebuchadnezzar and explaining this, making this clear for anyone under the sound of my voice that the Bible is infallible. Infallible, that's infallible word of God is like without a doubt, right? Because again, everyone dreams, and everyone has, you know, nightmares sometimes, or deja vu's, or or daydreams. So with this explaining the powerful phenomena that is submitting, but now a phenomena to these listeners. So basically, you know how Nebuchadnezzar was drinking, and Daniel prayed to God, and he go to more touch and agree. There he is in the midst, right? And you got, Hananias or Meshach, Azariah, or Nerag, Meshach, and Abednego, basically like talking with him and him, like telling him to pray to the God of heaven to reveal this meaning. And in the night vision, like at nighttime, he had a dream, and God revealed to him the vision, right? Interpret his dream and told him basically, tell me what I dreamed and the meaning. All right, and they like this. Northern, like wizard, magician, witch, warlock, whatever, you name it, right? Um, Astrologer, you name it. Crystallizer, she said, whatever, you name it, right? He said, destroy them all, right? Right, so God revealed him the dream, and then it's the God of heaven, so, and, amen. And the dream was, he seen a large statue, right? He seen a large statue, right?
You'd like the results of my training. I'm not done yet.
And the head was
This
made
fight
of
has only
gold.
just barely ended.
The body
I
was
can
made of
already
silver.
feel the itch to fight again.
The waist down to the knees was made of bronze. And the knees down to the ankles was made of iron. And the feet was like, if memory serves, mud and clay, right? So he seen the hand carve a rock out of a mountain, right? And it was not of human hand. He said,
Compared to our
and
first
he
battle, I
like
can get serious this time.
hit the statue, and they all like tumbled, like tumbleweed, basically. It
I feel the
just
need to
destroyed,
test my
right?
progress. Please don't hold anything back.
So he went to interpret this dream, and it said Babylon It's the greatest of them all. Right at the top. A parable again, like no other, right? Like a parable,
What a drag.
like basically the same parables of like the mustard seed and the net that was thrown into the sea, gathering of every kind. And when they drew to shore and set, right? Or like how Isaac basically and the lamb came from behind the bush. Hallelujah, Lord. Amen to the highest. So, assuming like back to the, the fact, right? So, we already, we already recruited ourselves to the other nation. See what I'm saying? So it would be like it's pointless to even like to the forward and to the Gentiles. We'll say it like this, and walk and close out from the tribe
What a
of
drag.
Israel.
Here we go.
Okay,
This is more than enough for you. You
or
see the difference
Yaakov.
between us?
But again,
Destroy you.
a multitude. What's known as Johnson. Oh, Zen.
With
All
ultra
right,
instinct, now we can fight on equal footing, Lord Beerus.
all right, all right. So coming back to these the deities, right? And knowing, right? The volume of the book is written about myself, right? Knowing this, right?
Compared to our first battle,
And
I can get
Deuteronomy
serious
10.
this time.
So, according to the history of this ancient civilization scattered to the four corners of this globe, servants to the oppressors,
Lord Beerus.
all these other angels are simply, First Peter 3, Christ is sitting at the right hand of God, having, you know, authorities over angels,
What
principalities,
a moron.
all right, right. But already confirming this, like in one of Daniel's, he was in the spirit, right? And it was in Matthew 22, memory serves, right? And he says, "Who's the Messiah's father?" And they said, "King David." And he said, "How? When David was in the mind or in the consciousness or in the spirit, right? When sons are times and godless manner, on whom speaks our fathers who talk about." Right? And so, God said to his God, the Messiah, right? So David is confirmed that the Messiah is his God. And Matthew's
I'll
1
fight you again if the mood strikes you.
to confirm. But remember, Romans what? 3. We have all proved to be sinners, both what? Jew and Gentile. No? Right. We've all proved
Compared
to
to
be
our
sinners,
first
right?
battle, I can
Who's
get
that
serious
nation?
this
Johnson,
time.
right? How he says, You know, he came to set the captive. He came to preach the ministry to the poor, to, to unleash the heavy burden, make the oppressed go free, and to give the Lord's favor, right?
What a moron.
It's at hand, favor, what? Man, let's find the right, let's find the good thing and saying, what? You know, study down front, study down front, you know, it says, 8 months, but it's those who, found, that love for life, and they are just, going through the, Mary and Joseph and, your, Zachariah and Elizabeth times and they're, going through their Job times, and, he just goes and says in what? In Psalms 34, all the afflictions of the righteous, the Lord delivers them out of them all. Just encouraging that, because, we show the, he said, everyone who's saying to him, Lord, Lord, shall not enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who doeth the commandments of his Father which is in heaven. Right? Because he said, if he ain't come and tell them they ain't sin, they didn't sin. But now they have no cloak for their sins. And he said, and many shall say to him that they have we not, prophesied in our name, not like, speak for myself. But, and in our name have cast out devils, and in our name have done many wonderful works, just being transparent, right? So not because forgive me a sinner, right? Forgive me a sinner. And, hallelujah to the highest, he choose, and that choice is the choice you make to follow him. You see what I'm saying? Because have a reprobated mind, you have no desire. Yeah. And he shall prophesy. And many said, have I not prophesied in thy name and have cast out devils and done many wonderful works? And I'm just saying, to not have my, wife, to disobey this God and be disobedient to the basic unit of it all. Basically, it's like, again, very bad. You say, you don't want to obey God. And that obedience was suppressive in the beginning. When God created man and for them to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Right? Because it had to be replenished before you could replenish it. So God had to already know, rather Christ had to already know what. But yes, God had to already know what was going down, because if everything again was created for him and for his purpose, that he would have known, there needed to be replenished. And replenishing is you see a multitude which no one can count. You know what I'm saying? Because again, Ham, Shem, and Jacob, going back to that, Noah's story, and they all had wives. Again.
I wonder if I could become a Super Saiyan.
So, and Philippians 3 verse 13, And Isaiah 4 is yet to come to pass.
Stronger and stronger.
Romans 2, verse 8. You know, that this is a clear prophetic event, like the rivers of Euphrates being, you know, driven up, and these cataclysmic, you know, you say, what do you say? How you say, you know, global warming, you know, and the machines, you know, see, however it's happened, you know, either man do it or it happened, you know, naturally, or, you know, how things should go. God says it's going to happen, right? And it says in Isaiah 14, right? If God so thought, so shall it come to pass. And if he had purpose, so shall it stand. That the Yahweh of hosts have purpose, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? Right? Right? So that's what it's about, you know? It's about the Son of God and his church, right? He is the, again, head of the body, right? And the head of Christ, God. Yeah. Right? And again, and the head of man as well, Christ. Yeah. And man, you want your, it's just what man, you don't want to think as a man. If, as he says, you're going to be sensitive to the spirit. You don't want to think as a man, you want to think as God. Okay? Philippians 2. And remember, Christ said to Peter, Matthew 16, you know, when he reprimanded him over and over again, and he told him, you know, you think about, you know, with man's point of view, you know, not God. And remember, Paul said, I speak as a man. Basically, he's still confirming. All right, still God's working, right? All right, so what Christ said in Matthew's 11, do what I teach you, all right? Learn from me what I teach you to do, right? For he is meek and lowly, and you find rest, right? Right? You find rest in him, for his yoke is easy and then serve his burden. It's like, so, and you know, just keep this thing going. Keep this thing going, you know. You go, you know, back.
Thanks a lot. How about we fight again?
All right, to Genesis 6, all right? Okay? And clearly, there's a volume in the book is written about Christ, right? And clearly, you got the the fallen ones, or these gods have been identified as the fallen ones, all right? And it's clear to know that they took what? The women to be their what? And brought about nothing, right? Coming back to this Daniel 2. And it's clear, right? Because this, you know, disclaimer, the Solomon Islands, All right. So, you know, and not just the Solomon Islands, but, you know, the legal triangle. All right. And what about what happened at Fort Knox? Right. With the UFO, you know, the chariot, according to the Bible. If you say the Bible, it's not a UFO, because, you know, it's a cloud, what they call a cloud, and Acts, the first chapter, that, you know, took the house high in the sky. Okay? I'm just saying. And when you study the scrolls, the pyramids, you want to have the, you know, look at the whole hieroglyphics, you know, because again, First Timothy, it says, don't give, you know, to endless fables and genealogies, which ministers question, but use the Bible to edify. Because again, this is over 5 millennia. Excuse me. I'm getting excited. I'm trying to calm down, but I can't. I'm trying, but I can't. And because it's clear. And people out of a 7-day week, right, they have to deal with, you know, and they have to take care of a family and or deal with whatever they got to deal with in life. And they have to deal with, you know, paralysis and something, you know, sleeping on their back. But what us believers would say, many call them, you know, reptilians and stuff like that. But us, in the word of God, right? Because I want to say I'm in this genealogy because he was called a servant. Okay? And we call it, you know, a demon. All right? And humanity must survive. You know, it's about humanity, right? Because it says in, again, Isaiah 66, right? Uh, Humanity shall come before him, right? All right, check it out in the True Passions translation. You won't see it because we speak in modern English, not ancient Latin, and not to mention to the true Israelites. Again, if you're not following the way, like Virgin, all the other stuff, laws and but then God basically send them to so we will wake up, not just to wake up, all right, but to actually do this thing, you know, and defeat the enemy with faith, because he has no power against us if you don't obey. It has nothing to do with obeying God is better than sacrifice, right? And he shall have mercy in our sacrifice, right? One baptism, one faith, one gospel, right? One shepherd, one flock. Okay? Just like Goku and Chi. Okay? Alright? You see, Goku has a wife, morals. Alright? It's even in, see, it's subliminal, right? It's subliminal message. It's a good one, you know? It's the morals. Have a wife and kids. Right? not artificial intelligence thing like criminal. And how you say alleged. Oh yeah, and under Title 17 USC Section 107, allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, teaching, scholarship, news report, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright status that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, if memory serve, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Under Title 17 USC or United States Constitution. USC. USC. All right, and what about Section 10, Article 1? But look, that's just another story, right? Who cares, right? But the truth, that's still the truth, right? Right? If you want to hide something from an American, put it in a book. It's an American now. Because again, your skin complexion don't tell if you're a slave or not. Your finances do, okay? And I'll just give it short, because, we live in, this time, and again, Lincoln, and the emancipation, to God be the glory, because I won't probably be saying anything about this, okay? But again, the Constitution of America, Declaration of Independence, is inspired by the true living God, and that's the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. So, 7 days before King was assassinated, he stated, "There's a plot to enslave every."
Already feel the itch to fight again.
Excuse me. Every man, woman, and child. Okay. All right. And to keep this thing going, to make it more clear, 1913 off of the coast of Georgia, like they got bored, like they got bored with enslaving, the 12 tribes of, one of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? They got bored, right? Because again, they was made and created forensic science to follow.
You took over my body too? This is weird.
All right, to submit. But then they rebel because then they get stiff neck. But some follow all the way. Again, they got bored. So 1913, is what I'm telling you, they enslaved their own. They enslaved America, bro. When they was out on a festival, which is not I would say Deuteronomy 13 and verses in their festivals.
Goku Black, right?
And, they inserted this,
I will
they
show
say,
you the true form of
to
autonomous ultra instinct.
financially enslaves the world, giving control of the nation's money. I don't care who makes the laws, and everyone knows their names. You don't know. We don't have to, those are in the know, right? But again, those is where everyone, because even they created the Little Mermaid, and that's why the book of Enoch and other scriptures are real. And again, Jack of the Beanstalk and all this stuff, there's all like subliminally akin to the infallible written word of God. okay with you standing right, because I know they works in their thoughts, right? So come past us from all thoughts, miles mouth, right? Isaiah 66, right? Colossians 3, verse 11, right? Your ethnicity, your nationality, your education, your economic status matters nothing. Jesus Christ, that means everything as he lives in every one of us. And um, that's the first, excuse me, 18 in Colossians 3, verse 19 and verse 20.
I've been looking forward to a real fight.
All right,
What are
so
we waiting
going
for?
back to, because again, Lincoln, the Constitution of America and Declaration of Independence is inspired by a true living God, right? He's raising his hands to God, right? Holding the flag. And his wife's name is what? Mary. Just, it's in the past, bro. Let's take a look. You need to look, excuse my profanity, forgive me a second. Philippians 3, verse 13. Okay? Okay, we need to look for this being like the days of Noah, like Christ said in Matthew 24. And again, this is how Ham, Shem, and Jacob and Noah found grace in our God. Right?
Who
While
would
they
be
was out
foolish
on
enough to
holiday
challenge
and
me?
it's piercing cold, so it'd be
I don't
impossible
have time to
for
waste. I'll have to finish this quickly.
him to be born in the dead of winter, right? But again, those who are fans and study to show their self-approved, no offense to the Jews or Gentiles, right? Because it says that in First Corinthians 10, right? And um, First Timothy, rather Second Timothy 2. And so again, right? So it's been proper for this, and I'm hoping you're enjoying
It's
it.
been a long
And
day.
sorry for the title. I meant to put something else. Okay. Well, again, it was like spare the moment, and who doesn't like natural, all right? And speaking from your heart, from your again intuitive,
Worm.
so
Certainly won't give
guidance,
up
those
easily.
being intuitive, rather those in the know, and those skeptics. Hopefully, questions are being answered, and you know, through the commentary.
Guess
But
that's
again,
that.
okay, then look, 1932, right? Franklin Delano Roosevelt passed a law, right? That was against the law. And again, it wasn't him because everyone knows their names. We don't need to say who they
Who
are,
would be foolish enough
right?
to
The deep
challenge
state,
me?
right? And again, and
I don't have
to
time to waste.
to keep this thing
I'll
going,
have to
right?
finish this quickly.
Let's keep this thing going, all right? And just please have an open mind that you be able to receive the sage advice, the paramount morals of the story. The facts are, in there for giants, you know, and how Jude says how people will feel like it's silly to, get married, you know,
Brace yourself!
keep the laws of Moses, right? Because again, to say the basic unit
It's been a long
of the
time, hasn't
church
it?
is marriage, again, confirming this with Ephesians 5, and saying, we speak concerning Christ and his church, Paul, saying, right? And yeah, right. Noah found grace in the eyes of God, right? And had Ham, Shem, Japheth, And Christ says, so be like the baby. Right? So scratching that off, right, as revealing to the believer, 1 Timothy 4, not to the unbeliever. If you're an unbeliever, then again, I'm not talking. Okay? But if you do have skeptics, yeah, unbelieving type of book are people curious, want to know more, all right? You know, detonary is the Messiah, and he has no successor, right? Okay, so those who stand beside him are those following him, and those following him are again being hearer of what he says and do. Man,
Who would be foolish enough to challenge me?
man. And so just making it plain because render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's and God's what is God's again. So if you are, 19, he said, food for thought, 19, this is 60, and you understand what I'm saying, right? And 1971, Trixie, right? Nixon, and again, give me control of the nation's money, and I don't care who makes the laws, all right? Do your homework. Gold is money. Everything else is credit. And you realize this, you won't be in poverty. Explaining, right? This I'm being serious, right? Because we are talking about, morals. And, it's all funny games, right? Yeah, and, we're trying to create generational wealth. So, all right, this is not funny, but again, we can laugh it off with just saying, try not to be angry. Again, it wasn't, the people of now. It was like people back then had a little plan, okay? And I'm pretty sure no one wants to, the world be plunged into outer darkness with everyone has nukes and you pencil, how you say it, trash in their nation, right? So 19 what? 71, all right? 2000, all right? That's when two countries realized what was going on because it's been done throughout time. And I say, food for thought, uh,
I don't have time to waste. I'll have to finish this quickly.
it's the history of money having, and money, when money was created, a star explodes, right? So when that star explodes, right? So, right, we're talking about Bible stuff now, right? Back to Bible stuff, right? Okay. So, and people worship these again. So they say, when this one didn't want to follow the cherubim order and be the cherubim, right? He was demoted, right? And he took a third of the angels with him, right?
We will both continue
So
stronger and stronger.
when gold, silver, diamonds, rubies, palladium, all this stuff was created according to the stories, the story of the infallible written word of God, right? right? This is when they were created, right? So not saying we trust in it, but just knowing the truth of this, right? The facts of it being connected with the infallible written word of God, okay? That people did worship, again, money and idols that was created out of minerals. And those minerals was like gold and silver and a lot of other stuff, right? Going back to the story in the giant, the giant that Nebuchadnezzar saw in his dream, right? And not to mention, there was a guy named Simon, and Peter told him in Acts 8, God will destroy you and your money. James 5, it says, it's time to weep and holler over the misery that will overtake you. Your riches lie rotten, and your fine clothes eaten by moths, and your gold and silver are rusted as a witness against you. Right? So again, just explaining this story, okay, and explaining this story, all right, clear that you know what I'm saying, that is a clear fact. It's a clear fact, of
I'm not quite like Goku. I want to push myself, but I've got my own way of
shape
doing
shifting
things.
and in the book of Enoch being identified further with just knowing the fact of the minerals, right? All right. All right. So anyway, back then, and again, even now, paper currency is backed by what? Gold. All right. The reason why I'm trying to say 1971, and your skin complexion does not tell if you're a slave or not. And again, 1913 off of the coast of Georgia, they said, what indoctrination shall we set into play after they created your, it was a lot bigger, a note of authenticity, right? A lot bigger, it was like, basically a receipt for like if you had like a shirt as a cleaners, and I quote Mike Maloney's words, all right? And you used to give that to the cleaners, right? And there was a claim on your, shirt, right? So the dollars or the $5, $10, $20, again, $50, $100, and sometimes two was created to enslave the general masses, and then 1935, a Bretton Woods system was created, tying every single last currency in the well-known globe. Look, look, he who leads in captivity, they just trying to let this joint be. Oh, look, he who leads in captivity shall be led in captivity, right? All right, so
Hey, thanks a lot.
them who say they are Yahoo thing or not, study your own, do your own homework. It's not hard. Acts 7 and Genesis 12. It's not hard. Okay? It's simple. Okay? And it's clear to try to hide these things is just disingenuous and just crazy. It's plain crazy to just take a history and think you can hide it, and you really got someone's forensic science here. Again, anyway, going back to Your skin complexion does not tell if you're a slave or not. And nowadays, your finances do. Okay? Okay? Because again, baby boomers, right? Would you deny that it's only Europeans, for all intents and purposes, and Asians or Native Africans, for all intents and purposes, only, I say being taxed? Because, the tax laws is written against the middle class and the poor, right? So no matter how hard you work, and they was taxing, and Christ said, who do they tax? Right? Who do they tax? Okay? And again, right? Your skin complexion does not tell if you're a slave or not. Your finances do. Or financial independence. Or, I would like to say, I want to say wealth. Because you could be poor in spirit. Yeah. And know how to be a humanitarian and reaching down. All right? Reaching back down. All right? So,
I'm not quite like
how
Goku.
you got?
I want to push
You got
myself,
19 what?
but I've got my own way of doing things.
60, right? And explaining this with numbers, right? Because men lie, women lie, right? People lie, but numbers never lie. So if you, with small numbers, back in 1971, because explaining this again, because this back to the fiat currency again, and it mean a Latin word for let it be done is only money until the government says it's not money anymore. All right, and they don't teach us you the history of money. Yet you have to find this out on your own and do your own what? Be optimistic and have your own independent thought about it. All right. So just giving you just independent thought, all right, and being led in a direction, okay, being not failing to plan, but being plan to fail and finding a coherent plan that's teaching you how to put yourself in a position to make, again, generational wealth. And again, the best investment that was taken from it was the education, right? The learning, okay? The experience, the progress, okay? All right, and again, who do they tax? Christ said to Peter, all right, their own, right? Okay. So if you're going to work for Uncle Sam, then pay your what? Taxes. But if you could find a way to make money work for you, or again, people enjoy what you're doing
Thanks a
or
lot.
enjoy
How
you,
about
or
we play
again,
again when you're feeling up to it?
then there's another way, multi-franchise. All right. So again, solve taxation, solve inflation, create leverage, create duplication. But I would say, just to, bring this back, but still talking about it again, just, let the being rich in faith, yeah, being rich in spirit, and the word of Christ dwelling you richly, okay? right? Being obsessed and infatuated with God, and not just obsessed and infatuated with God, His Word. So you'll be more obsessed and infatuated with those
I know
following
about Goku Black, but
such,
I guess there are
and
others
with
that look
the
like me
driven
too.
nostalgic love of to love one another as He has loved us. And and just the the clearness of it, right?
I'm not done yet.
Back to what the $5, $10 price. So they said, well, indoctrination, so we said to play that will last for centuries. They said we'll make a mandatory public school system. I said, what do we teach them? We teach them whatever we want to teach. But we teach our kids something different. And now what I mean is, again, our kids, those who understand the right side of the monetary system, it's a debt monetary system, and that right side is multi franchises, investing, and saving, and don't find out the hard way with investing. There's a difference between saving and investing, and don't find out the hard way with investments. But again, don't invest what you can't afford to lose, right? Um, but again, saving um, and something that, how you say, is growing over a long period of time is gold, silver. Again, but so when Christ then got the money out of the fish's mouth, and it paid for all of his
So it
disciples.
just barely ended.
And that money he got out of the fish's mouth
Already feel the itch to
was
fight again.
a pearl. Why a pearl? It's tangible. That's it. Again, and created it. Facts. Thank you for listening. We'll talk about this another time, and peace be with you. Shalom.
I've started to understand.